Now on BBC One, a really wild show special where Michaela Strachan meets the people who are dedicated to saving tigers.
Moving, moving, moving.
Welcome to a special Really Wild show, because today's programme is all about one of the rarest and most loved animals in the world, the tiger. This one is a Siberian tiger cub and it's 5 months old, and you can see tigers like him in zoos all over the world. Unfortunately though, wild tigers aren't doing quite so well, and if more isn't done to protect them, then they could well become extinct within our lifetime. And then the only place you'll be able to see these beautiful creatures is in zoos like this one at Port Lim.
Well, there is one other place, with modern-day technology, the world of virtual reality. Out in cyberspace lives the cyber tiger, created by WWF to raise awareness of the plight of the tiger.
Well, hello, and welcome to a vision of the future. For in the 21st century, the tiger that you know and love may no longer exist. It could be banished to books, films, theme parks, and zoos.
Oh, and of course, my little world of virtual reality.
Tigers have inhabited the planet for 3 million years. Until quite recently, there were 8 different types, or subspecies as you like to call them. All slightly different, with adaptations for the lands they were living in. They roam the forests from the Caspian Sea to Bali, and they've been worshipped as gods by people for thousands of years. But despite all that adoration, there aren't many left.
At the turn of this century, they reckoned there were about 100,000 wild tigers in the world. Now they say there are only 5,000. And if you lot don't get your act together, I'm afraid to say you'll have lost all my wild cousins forever.
Well, it's true what the cyber tiger says, but there are a few places in the world where tigers aren't doing quite so badly. I travelled all the way to Vladivostok in the Russian Far East to see what was being done there to save the wild tiger from extinction.
This forest in the winter is absolutely beautiful. But you know, if you're sitting in a wood at home, then you know there might be squirrels around, deer, maybe even badgers. But it's incredible, isn't it, that here there could be a tiger.
This forest is home to the largest tiger in the world, the Siberian. Its thick fur gives serious protection from the freezing temperatures. But the chances of me actually seeing one were pretty slim. There are only 400 left in an area the size of the United States. Unfortunately, the only place in the forest I could guarantee seeing tigers wasn't ideal.
This beautiful Siberian tiger has unfortunately been in this enclosure for 7.5 years. There are actually 2 of them in here, and both of their mothers were killed by poachers soon after they were born.
Siberian tigers are suffering the same problems as tigers all over the world. To a lot of people, they're worth more dead than alive because their body parts are used in traditional Chinese medicine. People believe that the power and energy of a tiger can be passed on to them and make them well.
A tiger like this one on the black market could fetch around £50,000, and every bit of it is worth something. Its skin, its bones, eyes, teeth, whiskers, even its fat, which means that these days a dead tiger is sadly worth an awful lot of money.
Luckily, here in the Russian Far East, people are fighting hard to save the remaining few tigers. I joined up with Yevgeny Gaveny and his anti-poaching team. They're part of Operation Amber, a brigade dedicated to saving tigers. Yevgeny took me to a place where there were signs that tigers had been in the area. He explained that you could see that a tiger had been here marking its territory because of the claw marks on the tree. Tigers always stay in the same area, which unfortunately makes it easier for poachers to track them down. But it's not just markings on trees that poachers look out for. We came across a big paw print in the snow that could only be from one animal.
Now this is a tiger paw print. They reckon it's about 2 or 3 days old. They're measuring it because that helps you tell the size of the tiger and also even the sex. They think this one's a female. Now you can see that it leaves quite an indentation in the snow, which makes it much easier for poachers to track tigers down in the winter.
Poaching tigers is obviously a major threat to their survival, but it's not the only problem. Siberian tigers eat deer and wild boar, and poachers are killing these too. We soon found evidence that they were in the area doing just that.
Well, this is what they reckon is almost certainly illegally poached deer. They think that because people that have a licence to kill deer would usually take the whole deer away, and the poachers have left the skin here. Now, this is a major problem for tigers. In these conditions, it's very difficult for tigers to find any prey at all. So the more deer that is illegally taken out of the forest, the hungrier tigers get, and the harder it is for them to survive.
Soon after, we got word that a wounded tiger had been in a nearby village, which could mean that the poachers were nearer than we thought. Eugenie took me to meet a local who told us about his rather scary close encounter with a hungry tiger.
Now what this guy's explaining is that one night a tiger came into this village. He came into the porch, killed one of the dogs there, came back here, killed another of the dogs, took both of the dogs down to this area. When the guy woke up in the morning, he saw that something ran off into the distance and the 2 dead dogs were left here. He cleared the dogs up, put them in the shed. The next night the tiger came back to try and get the remains of the dog. Now, however much you like tigers, a tiger coming into your backyard is a pretty frightening thing.
With the tiger gone, the poachers weren't going to be around the village, but Eugenie had a tip-off that suspicious people had been seen entering the forest about 10 kilometres away. So we headed off and tried to find clues. The forest is huge, so I didn't think we were going to see anything. Then suddenly Eugenie spotted something in the distance.
Now, Eugenie has the most incredible eyesight. He's just spotted this vehicle in the middle of the forest, so we came down to check these guys out. They've got guns that they've got a licence for, but this is an area that you're not allowed to hunt at all. So what they're doing in the middle of the forest with guns, probably illegal hunting. And you can see they've put their hoods up. They don't want to be seen on television.
Unfortunately for Operation Amber, it's still very difficult to take poachers to court. And although these men were obviously up to no good, they were eventually allowed to walk free through lack of evidence. It was quite an experience spending time with Operation Amber. It's obvious that they're doing some excellent work to save the Siberian tiger. On the last day, though, I saw something that I hope never to see again.
This is the skin and bones of a tiger killed by poachers with the intention of selling it on the black market. Fortunately, it's not the sort of thing that the patrol team come across that often anymore. But when you think that there are so few Siberian tigers left in the wild and every individual is vital for their future survival, seeing one end up like this is very, very sad.
Every tiger skin the team come across is burnt. It might seem a strange thing to do, and it was a very hard thing to watch, but if they don't destroy them, they can get into the wrong hands, and then the poaching will never end. It's only dramatic measures like this that have brought the Siberian tiger back to a stable position. From a population of just 40, there are now over 400. So although they're not completely out of danger, The situation is definitely looking more positive than a few years ago.
Oh, that makes my skin crawl, watching tiger fur go up in flames. Still, it's good to see so many people fighting the cause, but there's still so much left to do.
Now, why not try India, Michaela? That really is the place to look. In the Russian Far East, there are only 400 tigers, but India has about 3,000, more than anywhere else in the world. But with 1 billion people competing for space, the tigers here have their own peculiar problems to deal with.
Here in India, they have the largest population of wild tigers, but they also have one of the fastest growing human populations. In fact, for every one tiger, there's 300,000 people. So saving the tiger is certainly challenging.
Like its Siberian cousin, the Bengal tiger needs space to run around in. A mother and her cubs would need an area the size of 3,000 football pitches to live peacefully. With so many people in India, special areas have had to be set aside as national parks to safeguard the tigers' homes. But even in these parks, tigers haven't always been safe.
This is Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan in India, and it used to be full of tigers. But between 1920 and late 1960s, it was used as a royal hunting ground, and people from all over the world came here to shoot tigers.
India used to be a British colony, and under colonial rule, people began hunting tigers simply for sport. Killing a tiger was seen as the ultimate demonstration of man's power over nature.
Everyone went out with their guns, shot a huge amount of tigers. There were Maharajas who had individual records for 1,100 tigers. So we created a population of tigers totally frightened by man, wanting to run away from man. So we've gone into the end of the century, having destroyed the animal, now busy trying to protect it. But the odds are immense.
For the tiger to survive, it needs as many people as possible to fight on its behalf. A petition from Indian schoolchildren demanding action was taken to their Prime Minister by Saurabh Sinclair.
Well, tigers are such beautiful animals, and it seemed a shame that we were killing them and letting them being killed without doing anything. So I thought we should go and present the petition.
What difference do you think it made for children to sign a petition and take it to the government?
Well, I think it's very important for children to take a petition because they are the future of this country and they're going to run the country in the future, of course. But more than anything, we think about an animal. If we fall in love with it, we try to save it no matter what, whereas our elders might just start thinking selfishly and won't act by it.
These days, Ranthambore National Park is considered a great success. Wildlife is flourishing here, and there are now 30 tigers living in the park in relative peace. Part of their success is thanks to some very unusual schemes. Tigers depend on the forest for their survival, but they're not the only ones. For generations, villagers have been chopping down trees to make fires for cooking. But with such a large population in India, it's a huge demand. Saurabh took me to a village where conservationists have come up with a rather smelly alternative to using firewood as fuel.
Now this may look pretty disgusting, but believe it or not, thanks to the Tiger Conservation Project, this cow dung has become extremely useful to the local people in this village. Nice concoction, but this mixture creates two very important things: great compost and very useful natural gas.
Using dung as fuel means less trees chopped down for firewood and more forest for the tiger.
So from cow dung to gas for cooking to an afternoon cup of tea. Cheers.
For tigers to have a future, the people that live right next door to them need to support their cause. So some of the money raised to help tigers helps people too. Near Ranthambore, an eye clinic has been set up using tiger conservation funds.
So what do most people come in here with? What's the main problem?
All the people over here come in with cataracts or eye problems, but they're all treated for cataract around this time of year.
What exactly is a cataract?
Well, a cataract is a sort of filament or a lump that forms in front of the lens, and it stops you from seeing. And they get it because working in the sun all day. Over a long period of time, you get this lump in front of the eye. There are 270 people, old people, being operated over here.
What, in 5 days?
5 days.
It's hoped that by helping the people, it will encourage them to live in harmony with the tigers.
This really is a fantastic clinic, and everybody that visits is given a young tree to take back to their village to plant. So not only do all these people go home seeing better, but they all take home a conservation message as well.
The Ranthambore Eye Clinic is doing a fantastic job to make tigers popular with people. But the locals have another way of spreading the conservation message through something that can reach everybody: art. The Ranthambore School of Art sells its pictures all over the world. It also holds classes for the local children.
Well, it's more of an artist impression than a realistic look at a tiger. He did most of it honest.
अनुभव होगा कि नेचर कैसा है क्या है तो अभी से इनको बताएंगे कि मन में डालेंगे
from childhood so that they learn about nature and they understand about nature and they bring them into the wildlife, into the parks and things so that they learn to draw and they fall in love with the animals eventually.
So does this boy love animals?
आपको जानवरों से प्यार है क्या? हाँ? Yeah.
What's his favourite?
कौन सा जानवर आपका सबसे अच्छा जानवर है? Tiger.
Tiger. Great. By the way, I found out that this is the artist that did my T-shirt. Now, this is a T-shirt I got from a charity back in the UK. I'm in the middle of India and I meet the artist.
ये आप ही नहीं किया था?
जी हाँ मैंने किया था
It's fantastic.
थैंक यू वेरी मच
I think the children are the future hope for the tiger. Their awareness of the plight of the tiger, how they persuade their leaders, their elected representatives, how are they going to persuade them to save this animal? I mean, it's a lifelong challenge for me, but as many children who join or take the battle further, there's one extra tiger that will be saved.
Now, I'd never been lucky enough to see a tiger in the wild before, but with all this conservation work going on, I was certainly going to stand a good chance of having my first encounter right here in Ranthambore.
Well, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm still a little bleary-eyed, but extremely excited because today we go out and look for wild tigers.
The best time to see tigers is very early in the morning. That's one of the most active times in their day. Sir Rob saw his first tiger when he was just 10 months old and has been lucky enough to have seen them many times since. So he knows exactly what to look out for.
So, Sir Rob, what are we looking for?
Well, we look for pug marks on the road and alarm calls, of course. The deer just go wild.
So that sort of noise that
Was from a spotted deer. Yeah, that's
from this sort of direction.
from in there.
Spotted deer have pretty good eyesight, so when one of them spots a tiger, they let out a loud scream warning all the other animals that danger is near. Other animals have alarm calls too, so it can get pretty noisy if a tiger's about.
And they're pretty territorial, aren't they?
Yeah, tigers have very good territory. They have their same route and their scent mark on the same trees, and they sort of have their fixed areas.
So you know vaguely where to look.
Yes, yes. But they can be anywhere in that area, and they're so well camouflaged. If they're sitting in a bush down here, you can't see them.
Tigers are so well camouflaged that spotting one in the long grass was proving to be extremely difficult. But they weren't hiding from us, they were hiding from their prey. They have to stalk really close before making their final sprint. They can't run fast for very long, so if they're spotted, the game's definitely up.
Rob, I've got it, I think. I've got something that looks like a tiger. Can you see where I'm looking? You see the tree at the back, the very, very green tree?
Yeah.
It's sort of just to the left of that. Have a look. And I saw a glint of an eye. Can you see it?
No.
You can't. I mean, I can see it with my own eyes from here, but then maybe I just want to see it so much that
No, I don't.
wishing it. I'm sure, because I did see an eye glint.
Well, still no tigers, but breakfast time was an opportunity to get close to some rather more sociable creatures.
Well, Rob, no tigers.
No.
But we've still got time. There are plenty of langurs. They're fantastic. Will they take from your hand?
Yes, yes. Just, yeah.
But they won't bite or squabble.
No.
Here you go. Oh, sweet. Oh, look at that one. Look at the size of him. Greedy guts. Gotcha. Oh. Look, there's nothing left in there. Oh, they are great.
After breakfast, we went out again. Our luck must have changed because immediately we heard an alarm call.
सिर्फ जोगी महल के वो जो सांबर था वहाँ से.
So what is it?
The alarm calls.
From the deer.
From the deer. And the monkeys. Yeah.
And that's a good sign that a tiger's around, is it?
There's been some activity since last night.
साला ऐसा कंफ्यूज सा हो रहा है. ये जो झाड़ है ना बड़ा वाला, इसके नीचे सो रही है छाया में.
As soon as Sir Rob had pinpointed her position, we could see her clearly, just basking in the sun.
It's my first wild tiger. You know, we're all familiar with tigers. We see them in books, cartoons, advertising various products, but there's nothing like seeing one in the wild. As Winnie the Pooh said, the wonderful thing about Tigger is Tigger's a wonderful thing. Well, it really is. It's a magnificent big cat. I'm so chuffed we've seen one. But look, yeah, you can see it with your own eyes. It looks so unbothered by us being here, doesn't it?
In 1992, I didn't think there would be any tigers alive in 1999. Today we are sitting in a place which is showing signs of great recovery. Again, something I didn't expect. So I've been proven wrong, and that's the best news I've ever had. So the tiger is going to enter another century, another millennium, and it's up to the world to decide how they want to save it. But the first battle has been won to save the tiger. We are now into the second battle. How long for?
It may be great to have tigers in zoos or even in virtual reality, but it's far, far greater to have them here in the wild where they belong. Tigers have become a symbol of conservation. And if we lose the tiger, we've lost a very important conservation battle. But hopefully with so many people all over the world fighting to save the tiger, its future will be bright.
Well, Michaela, I suppose we might have a chance after all. Oh, and if you want to find out more about my wild cousins, then keep watching. Bye!
The Disney Oscar-winning classic Mary Poppins, next here on BBC One.